Hello and welcome back to our Saturday yoga practice. Today's a nice practice for me because we're going to be focusing on hip openers, and that is something that I always benefit from. So if you're like me and you sometimes have tight hips, this will be a nice practice for you. And we will also continue to work through strengthening our core, strengthening the muscle groups around our hips, as well as stretching them and letting them release a little bit. For today's practice, if you have a block or a couple of pillows, if you'd like to kind of support yourself in those ways, I will offer some options where that might be nice, and that might help facilitate accessing that deep stretch or the position that you're going for. So yeah, definitely have those handy. And then also you might see all the way back there, I have a little blue lacrosse ball type exercise ball, just something the size of like a tennis ball. Tennis ball would be great. So if you want to take a minute to gather those things, feel free. I'm going to make my way onto my mat into a comfortable seated position, and I'll just breathe for a couple of moments while you kind of get some of the stuff together. All right. And once you have the things that you need for practice, you can join me in this seated asana. Find yourself in a comfortable position. You can sit on something, do that little spine lift. That's very empowering and nice sometimes, especially if you sit on your knees. Having a block at any height can really help access this position rather than compromising those darling knees. Give yourself a little lift, maybe 2 blocks of a lift. And for our initial breathing today, I'm going to just bring my fingertips to touching. In this little, it's a little triangle right in front of my heart space. Just apply gentle pressure into your fingertips. Let your shoulders get nice and low down your spine. Forehead over heart, over pelvis. And maybe your eyes close. And let's take a couple of breaths together. Let the breath drop in, passing through the heart space and ending in your belly. And then return it up and out. Settling here. And carefully, gently, slowly, blinking those eyes open, releasing your fingers, doing a couple little shoulder rolls. Excellent job. All right, if you have any supports, you can remove them. We're going to start right away with mindful hip opener. We're going to move into a wide-legged child's pose, but being mindful of the hips as we do so. So for this, we're going to send our hips back. We're going to open our knees as much as is accessible and as is comfortable. As we practice, your range of motion will increase, and you can play with how wide or how low or how little you open your knees. And you're going to feel your hips pressing towards your feet. They may be in the air, and that's absolutely okay. But the idea is to feel that energy going downward and keeping those hips there. You're going to walk your upper body down. Here, there are many options for variations. Take a block to rest your head. That way you still can press those hips back. You can additionally open your feet a little bit. Place a block in between your feet and just press into the block. And that way when you send your hips back, something there to perch on. So find what works for you. And breathe. Good. One more sequence of breath here. On your next inhale, we're going to send our body up into a tabletop position, letting our knees come underneath our hips. And let's just stretch out one foot at a time. Ooh, got a nice ankle crack there. All right. And as we often do, let's warm up our spine through a nice and easy cat-cow. Take your time to really match it with a natural, unrushed, unhurried breath. So inhale, the belly drops, the tailbone lifts, the heart lifts, the gaze lifts. And then on the exhale, that begins to dome your spine as you gaze between your heels or your toes. And then the inhale, belly drops. You can feel the spine curving. And then exhale, rounding the spine like a rainbow, pressing up with those hands. Take two more cat-cows on your own. And once you finish those two, I invite you to bring in anything else gently in this position that you might like. Maybe little infinity signs that you draw with your hips. Whee! Little figure eights, I think, is what they're actually called. Maybe you want to stretch out your wrists by turning your hands either sideways for a gentler stretch, or maybe your fingers point towards your knees. And you carefully send your hips forward and back. Stretch out the wrist and that lower inner arm. Ugh. Maybe you want to tuck your toes and send your hips back to give your toes a little stretch. Sure you get that pinky. I have very small feet, and my pinky toe never reaches the ground. I have to be like, get over there. Good. Little massage. Take whatever you need. Maybe just in the child's pose. I'm going to take off my bracelet. Oh, I just lost my, this thing happens all the time. I really need to update my computer because it always sends me these little alerts that make me lose video connection temporarily. Good, do what you need here. We're gonna start off nice and deliberate, nice and slow, and then build from there. Especially when we get to the hips. Hips, like, they don't lie. They're always telling you what you're feeling, what's going on emotionally. They're not going to be like, oh, you can fake it, you can push through it. No, they're going to be very honest with you. So we really want to give ourselves a generous warm-up. If you'd like to untuck your toes, cross your feet, and send your hips back, let's just do a little bit of a neck warm-up. We're going to inhale to send energy uplifting through the crown of our head. And then exhale to send your right ear to right shoulder. Maybe you want to press down with the left fingers. And inhale to send it back up. And then exhale the left ear to left shoulder. One more time each way. Inhale up. Right ear, right shoulder. Maybe pressing down with the left fingertips. One more time the other side. From here, we're going to let our nose drop towards our chest. Rolling our right ear to the right shoulder and pause. Inhale. Exhale to roll it back through center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale once you arrive. Exhale for the roll. Inhale to arrive. And exhale to roll. Inhale to rise. Good, and then send your head back to center. We're gonna lift our right arm tall. Exhale, send that palm down your back. Left arm is gonna reach behind you. You should try to make contact with your fingers. Maybe you can reach, maybe you can't. Doesn't matter, as long as the stretch is there, the intention is there, that's what you're going for. And then maybe you lift your head a little bit to add a little more intensity onto that upper arm, upper shoulder. Deep breath here. Deliberate, let it sink in breath. And then exhale, release the fingers. Inhale to reverse the arms. Exhale to drop them behind. And have them reach towards each other. This is a nice place if you have a yoga strap. You can hold onto the strap instead. And then carefully walk your fingers towards each other as you increase your flexibility over time in practice. One more deep inhale, let it drop in. Let it ground you. And then the exhale to carefully release those fingers. Let them come out and just give yourselves a couple Mikey Phelps. Good, I feel like all I've done today is nap and it's only 1 p.m. But I'm like, wake up, wake it up. All right, back onto our hands and knees, shall we? We're gonna walk our hands forward, tuck our toes, get mentally fortified as we move slowly into our first downward dog practice. So inhale at the bottom, fill up, and then exhale. Almost like in releasing the air, your hips like float up, like almost as if the air were like something heavier, that when you release, it makes your hips even lighter, more buoyant, and they spring up. Here, begin to pedal out your feet. Just walk them out. The slower, the better here. Just really do what you need. Find a little bit of stability in your legs. These can certainly be bent. I encourage it, especially in the beginning. We're going to bend our knees even more to get those hips a little higher. And then just keeping the intention of the hips being high, begin to straighten up those legs again. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Side up. Just like let it out. Just let the whatever needs to leave. You just let it out. It's just us. Deep breath in. Side out with some gusto. Nice long sigh out. One more time. Make it the biggest, longest sigh. Just let it go. Good. Look forward towards your hands. Plant all 10 knuckles. And begin to step your feet in towards your hands. And let your head relax. Knees can be nice and bent. Reaching for opposite elbows as we move into our first sun salutation of Saturday class. Maybe we cradle our head a little bit. You can shake it yes and no. Maybe you want to rock a little side to side. Just telling these big muscles in the back, like, hey, we're about to be doing stuff. In fact, let's make little fists and do a little massage. Starting at the Achilles, moving up the calves, skipping over that knee. Yeah, and these hammies, they are bread and butter of this practice half the time. I feel like without these strong hammies, where would we be? Don't forget the glutes. The glutes are underrated. Underrated. They do a lot as well. Maybe the inner thighs, and then make our way over to the front. And then whatever you need to come down and release those fingers. Take a deep breath at the bottom. Let the head be heavy. And when you are ready, on your next exhale, bend your knees deeply and begin to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Take it nice and slow. We've been inverted for a while. Get to the top, rolling back those shoulders. Let the chin be tall and proud. And let's just stand in a grounded mountain pose. Nothing in particular with the upper body except integrity. Just take a deep breath here, eyes open. On the exhale, close your eyes. Eyes still closed. One more cycle of breath. Excellent. Begin to blink your eyes open. Bend your knees, reaching those arms up, up, up. Palms come together, and we soar down to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Blocks are a great option for halfway lift. Take a couple breaths here. We're just warming into it. Knees can have a slight bend. Always, always, always. You don't want to fight yourself. If your knees are like, I gotta bend, and let them bend and find the length. Find that length. One more inhale here. And exhale to melt it down. Bending your knees, planting those palms, step one leg back and then the other. Lower the knees. Low plank. Inhale to shift forward. Exhale to lower down, elbows close to the body. Shavasana, chaturanga. Untuck those toes, pressing those palms in. Baby cobra, elbows moving towards each other. Don't let those shoulders come up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to move through our tabletop. And then wide knee child's pose. So first, sending those hips as far back as you can, inserting a block if that makes it more comfortable. Inhale to lift that spine a little bit, really feeling those hips towards the earth. And then exhale to send that upper body down. Excellent. Inhale to come on back up. Let those knees come underneath your hips. Palm print forward with those hands. Tuck the toes. Inhale up. Exhale. Breathe it out. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Let go. Just like let the monsters in the basement out of your body. This is our yoga-like exorcism. I don't know. Inhale deeply. Let it out. It's been hard these days, hasn't it? One more deep breath in honor of a sense of ease that we can achieve together. Let it out. We're going to step the left leg a little more towards the center of the mat. Sorry, a little bit of shoulder tenderness today. Inhale the right leg up. And from here, you are going to bend the right knee, touch knee to elbow. Inhale to send it back. Knee to nose. Inhale to send it back, and this is where it changes a little bit. We're going to send knee to left elbow, right knee, left elbow. Hover, and then as best we can, we're going to step, move my fake candles, step that leg outside of our mat on the left side. Maybe we can pivot on that back leg and open up to the left side of the room. Good, if you're kind of more in this, like balancing what's going on here, hold this. You're there. You know, it just takes getting used to it. Inhale to plant that palm, bend that front knee. Rotate on the back foot so your toes are facing the front of the room. Inhale that foot back, well done. Exhale, nose to knee, hover, hover, and you're gonna send that foot between our hands. High lunge. Let's drop that back knee. You can tuck or untuck the toes. You can use your thigh or you can use your core. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, we're just gonna pivot to the right side. So right leg out, pivot to the right side, arms still up. And open the arms, little twist. Good, just hang on here. This is an extension of our Twisty Thursday class. This might look familiar. Inhale the arms up. And let's just twist to the other way. Nice open twist. It challenges your balance in a very different way. Now we call this one aphaste. We kind of open up, and this one would be quasi, because we're kind of crossed in front of our body. Because this is clearly a ballet class. Inhale the arms up. Lengthen through that spine. Palms come together, rotating at that lower belly just as we did. And this time, connecting your left elbow to your left knee. And these rights and lefts on the Zoom, I cannot. Just trust you know this. Good. If your arms are towards your shoulders, maybe we can lengthen through that spine a little bit. Gaze can be up, gaze can be down. Gaze down can help with balance. You like a little help with balance. Good. Inhale to unhook the arm. Come back to center. Exhale to lower the arms to your hips. Take a moment to find your stability here. Here, we're going to draw the legs in so you feel the muscle activation between your two legs like they're a magnet. From here, we're going to lunge forward. But we're not going to just give into the stretch, which sometimes you would. In certain restorative and like yin poses, you would. Here, we're going to use that core, feel it activated, and keeping the activation of those leg muscles. Lunge forward. You may not go down as far because all the muscles are contracting. And that's good. We're strengthening as well as stretching. And then once we do release these muscles, they're going to open so wonderfully for us. Take a deep breath here. Feel those muscles still going towards each other. Then exhale to drop the hands, release the tension in your legs. And now making sure knee is over ankle. Give into that stretch. No more tension between the leg muscles, just stretching it out. Hey, well done, well done, well done. And then coming back to our little lunge. Here, you're just going to plant both hands on either side of the inside edge of that right leg. Walking out that foot a little bit, that right foot, toe pointing out to the corner. Then we go into our lizard pose. Okay, we're already there. Here you can play around. You can tuck your toes, lift your back knee. You can come onto your elbows, play like a video game while you're down here. And I just ask that you keep your spine in mind. So if you're hunching over, maybe you have a pillow or a block, use that so you get this like lovely length of the spine. How about keeping that integrity? So find what works for you. You're gonna hold it for just a couple more breaths. I'm gonna zip it. I'm gonna let you kind of drop in here. Excellent. If you're on your elbows, come back to your hands. You're gonna use the back. You're gonna lift the knee of the back leg, and then swing that front leg around. High lunge, high plank or low plank. Shift forward. Exhale to lower down. Little half push up here. Untuck the toes. Press up into whatever upward dog or cobra that you like. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale to press either through tabletop or into downward facing dog. Either way, we will all eventually meet in downward. Let's take our toes and point them slightly towards each other, just to get a little more stretch down the sides of our calves. Excellent, and then let your toes be square again. You're gonna inhale the right foot up. Exhale to open the toes out to the side, bend that knee, and like you're peeing on a fire hydrant. That right heel is pressing towards your left shoulder. Again, this weird little open twist. Excellent job. Now bring it back up. Square your hips again. Send your foot down. You're gonna bend your knees and either jump like a frog or walk your feet up towards your head. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, bend your knees, reach your arms out and up. Palms come together, send them past your heart. Shavasana. Grip through your pinky toes, big toes, mound of your heel. I think I could just say heel. Find those points on your feet. Like we practiced last week, feel that kind of outward rotation. So if your knees have a tendency to knock inward, try to open them out from the hips and breathe here. Eyes closed. Notice your heart is beating. Excellent. Coming back to the top of our mat. Bend your knees, hips, feet hips width distance apart. Reach those arms out and up. Exhale to send your heart forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, planting your hands, stepping one foot back, and then the other. Inhale to high plank or low plank. Shift forward. Exhale. Chaturanga. Untuck those toes. Press it up. Exhale down. Inhale, tabletop. And then with our knees still square, send it back into a more restorative child's pose. Arms can be reached out in front of you, by your sides, or in prayer over your head. Excellent. And slowly we're going to come back to tabletop, and we'll meet in our downward facing dog. Here, let's take 3 deep breath sighs. So inhale deeply, let it out. Just let it all out. Deep inhale, sigh out. And now let your sigh be even longer on this next one. Inhale deeply. Take your time, sigh it out. Excellent. You're going to bring your right foot a little bit more to the middle of the mat. Inhale, left heel high to the sky. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, high to the sky. Knee to nose. And your arms and core are pressing up like you're doing a plank. Inhale, high to the sky. And now this one, left knee to right elbow, you're going to pause. And when you're ready, you're going to plant the edge of that foot outside your mat. And if you feel so inclined, you can release that right hand up to the sky and kind of rotate the back foot to support you. Inhale to get long. And then exhale to bend the front knee, plant that hand on, plant the back foot so your toes are pointing to the front. And then inhale to send that knee back, leg back my knee. Exhale, knee to nose, and you're going to step it through when you're ready. High lunge, and then low lunge. You can always put a blanket under your knee if it's sensitive. Here you can use your thigh to prop up on, or use your arms back and up. You can tuck your toes or not. Inhale to get lifted through your spine, but shoulders aren't coming for the ride. And then we're going to exhale to pivot to the left side of the room from that lower belly. And then open the arms. Good. Inhale, both arms up. Let's open the twist out to the other side. Inhale, both arms up, back to center. Palms come together past your heart. You're going to twist from that lower spine to the left side again. Right elbow is going to connect to the outside of your left knee. You're going to press those hands together firmly and either gaze up or gaze down. Excellent. Unhook that elbow, come back to center. Just release your hands down to your hips. Here we're going to go into that muscle activation again. So feeling those thighs pulling towards each other. So if you're just relaxed, you're just balanced here because like your bones are literally structuring you to sit up. And now activate those muscles. Bring those legs towards each other. Feel the core engage as someone just kind of poked you in the belly. And then with these muscles still contracting, begin to lunge. Again, you're not getting into the stretch, so you may not be going as far as you can go. And that's okay. Because as I said on the other side, when we stretch with these engaged muscles, these contracted muscles, it's kind of adding like another level to them. So when we do relax, they've already worked so hard, they've already stretched so much that perhaps they open up a little more to us. So really feel them pulling and pulling and pulling and strengthening, strengthening, strengthening. And then on your next exhale, plant your hands on either side. And then walk those toes out if you need to make sure your knee is over ankle. And then just give in to that lunge. So here you are not fighting it, you are not resisting it. You are letting yourself give into the stretch. Blocks under your hands, super helpful here. In fact, even if you're very flexible and you can do all these splits and all the things, blocks can actually help you get new depth. So even if you're very flexible, blocks might be really nice for you. Excellent. Remove anything you have. Bring your hips up a little more in the air. You're going to bring both hands to the inside edge of that left foot. So both hands on the right side. You're going to walk out that left foot a little. Turn out the foot so the toe is pointing to the upper left corner. And here we find ourselves in lizard, trying to have wrists under shoulders. So we're not like, yeah. And you can play around here, lifting the back foot, going onto your elbows, using a block. Inhale to breathe length into this spine. For that, you might even want to come up a little bit to really get in touch with that length. And then once you feel it, come on back up. Hello, hip openers. Hello, hello, hello. Just for a couple more breaths. I'm going to be quiet. You're going to feel into it. Or you're going to zone out with your video game. And then when you're ready, planting those palms underneath. The back leg is going to lift, the knee is going to lift. You're going to carefully bring the front leg to meet the back leg. Just do a couple little shakes. Knee is not quite touching the ground. This is like both a shake and a core exercise. One foot and then the other, like a modified mountain climber that you might see in fitness class. And then knees can drop or they can stay up. Heels press the back of the room. Take a deep breath here. Shift forward. And then exhale, lowering down. Chaturanga. Untap those toes. Pressing up. Exhale. Into your downward dog. And inhale. The right foot can come closer to the center if you'd like. Inhale the left foot up. Turn out those toes so they are pointing to the left side. And then drop that heel in the direction of your right shoulder. Obviously, you're not going to like actually touch your foot to your shoulder unless you are an acrobat, in which case, go for it. And you can gaze underneath that left armpit or just gaze in front of you. Like you're peeing on a hydrant. One more breath. Inhale to square those hips again. Send it back down to downward dog. Hop, step, or frog jump to the front of your mat. I kind of landed kind of funny. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And here, bend your knees. Reach for opposite elbows. And again, we are going to gently rock. And just as before, we're going to use our own tools to massage the backs of our legs and our glutes, the inside muscles, and the front thighs. When we're doing this, we're essentially encouraging the muscles not to tighten up in any particular place. We kind of overstimulate the muscles so they're not like, oh, I want to get tight right there. You're kind of like, oh, wait, no, there's stimulation here and there and there. And so the idea is that they stay a little more loose for us. Calves, and be careful around the Achilles. You might want to use your fingertips. All right, and here, let's do hands to thighs. Let's do a halfway lift here. Really nice supportive one where you can use your legs to really support your butt here. And exhale here. Tabletop with your back. Here, you're going to toe heel your feet together. Bend your knees, reach your arms back. Inhale here. Exhale to send those arms front. And they can settle right in front of you. You come past your ears. Sit down in that chair that's a little too high. Why would you sit down in that chair? I don't know, but that's the one you chose. That's your destiny now. Come into our chair pose. Utkatasana, intense pose. Hands can always come here, here. There's options. Gonna inhale up, and then exhale, just to open to one side, little twist. Continue to breathe. Inhale both arms up to the center, and then open them out to the left side. Continue to breathe. Deep inhale to the front. Exhale to send those hips further back in space. Toes can lift. You're only putting weight on the ball of your foot and your heel. And then inhale and exhale. Come back down. Good. And bend your knees enough that maybe your fingertips can brush and just sweep the floor. Maybe we go front to back. Just bring a looseness to your shoulders. Blah. Excellent. Bend your knees. Roll up nice and slow. Letting your head still be heavy. Here, take a breath. Take a break. Have a sip of your beverage. And we're going to get our balls. Our lacrosse balls, tennis balls, fitness balls, whatever ball you have. And we're just going to do a gentle roll out for our feet. Just checking the time. Always checking the time. I always think I'm like perfectly on time, and then I'm like wildly mistaken. So take a breath, do what you need for a couple seconds. Seconds more, you have seconds. Clock is on. Countdown is now. Excellent, all right. So hopefully you have a ball, and if not, it's yoga playtime for you. You can do whatever you want here safely. Here, you're just gonna plant the ball on the ground, or place it on the ground. Get stable through your left foot, and just roll your right foot over it. Try not to neglect the heel, and try not to neglect even the toes. And you control the pressure. You don't want to apply so much pressure that like it hurts. We also don't want to not feel it. So really, just find that happy medium where you feel it. It has like a massage quality to it. And it is believed that there are many points in your feet, like pressure points and kind of all kinds of these little sensitive areas in your feet that link up through these sort of meridians, up your legs, through your body, and that rolling out your feet, sometimes with different sized balls, sometimes having just a foot massage, just rolling them out, getting some blood flow there, releasing the muscle tension is actually really beneficial for other parts of our body. Like, I've heard people be like, oh yeah, when I have like a shoulder pain, I just roll up my feet and it just resolves itself, it relieves itself. Now, this is not medical advice, this is all anecdotal, but the downside to rolling out your feet safely and comfortably is pretty minimal, and it feels pretty great, even if it's just for your feet. So, continue for a few more moments. Again, not neglecting the heel and the toes. It's a good moment to get back in touch with your breath. As you subtly balance on one foot, find some length through the spine. Just have our alignment always in check. And then carefully move your foot from the ball, stabilize to that right foot. Actually, before you do, just notice the difference. Stand in hips square. You notice the difference between your feet? Maybe, maybe not. You're going to stabilize to that right foot and same thing. Yes, yes, yes. I feel it's just clearing my brain up. Everything is so much better. No, but truly, when you use the muscle, I feel like one of the most therapeutic devices you can own is a ball of this shape. You can really massage deeply into big muscle groups that are hard to kind of get to with your hands. And it breaks up the fascia, the connective tissue around the muscles a little bit so that actually you can access the tense point in the muscles. There's not this like protective tight coating around it. That is loosened up with the massage. Therefore, you can actually get a deeper tissue massage going on. You can roll out your glutes. That feels great. The IT band area feels really, really good. Rolling out the shoulders on the floor. We've done some of these in our practices together. I'm happily going to bring them back in future sessions because it feels great. So having a ball is just great. Start at the feet, you make your way all the way up, almost even until the area below your ears and your neck. Just obviously so carefully, hopefully with some guidance if it's your first time doing it. And just for a few more moments, take a little time to tap back into your big belly breathing. It sounded weird, but the breath is big. I'm not saying anyone has big bellies or anything. Heel, your toes, and then remove it. See if you notice the difference between the legs, or the difference in being stable on one leg and having this one be free. Do you notice any difference in the upper leg? Give it a shake. Well done. That's it. Just a little warm up for the feet, little arch support for the massage. Back to our hip openers. So just as we were doing, we're going to stabilize on our left foot. So we're going to bring the right foot up, hug that knee, and you can bend the supporting leg. You may not be able to see, but I have quite a bend in my supporting leg. Give it a little hug. Ooh. Falling is part of it. It's a natural part of the balancing process. So fall, 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 fall. Good. And then release that knee a little bit, and you're going to cross the ankle over the thigh, just not resting on the knee. Making a little figure four. Hands come to prayer or to your hips. And then exhale, you're going to bend that standing leg. You might already start feeling a little something back here. Flexing through the right foot. Find something to look at. Interesting. Something, a dot on the wall in front of you. A speck on the floor out in front of you. Something in the distance. Here you can remain, or you can begin to send your hips back like a chair pose, and maybe we bow forward. If you'd like, you can release your hands toward the floor or towards some blocks. And they bend in that standing leg. One, increases stability and increases strength, but also the more you bend, the more you really get into that right hip. So you can notice if you straighten your leg out, you don't really feel that hip as much as when you bend deeply. Let your head be heavy here. I'm going to work on my balance, because that's what I need. When you're ready to come up, stabilize to that foundation. Bring up that spine. Maybe we can carefully unhook that knee and that ankle and hug that knee back in a reversal. And carefully send it down. Oh, I feel that in that supporting leg. Shake it out, shake it out. Oh, well done. Let's do a couple Phelps here. And let's bring in, doing like a little like middle school dance. You go to middle school dance, you don't know how to dance, but you're trying to copy the people who do. A little step together. Great. Shake it out. Now we're going to come to our right foot. Stabilize. I want to spread those toes. You're going to begin to lift that left knee, bending the standing leg. Hug that knee in a little. Just be like, hello, hip. Hello, hip. Then you're going to release your grip. That left leg is going to turn out, so the knee is now pointing out to the side. Then you're going to cross it over, ankle over the thigh of the right foot. Flexing, flexing, flexing. Find some stability, kind of like tree pose here. Woo! The wind is blowing on this tree. Find your drishti, find your focus, something to look at. You can stay here. This is plenty balance work and hip work right here. or you can bend that right leg a little more, and sink in as much as you like. Maybe you want to start pressing those hips a little back in order to tilt that body forward as your focus changes now to something more immediate, something closer to you. Option to let your hands drop to the floor or keep them in prayer wherever they're comfortable. Deep breath. Exhale, begin to reverse the motions. Come to standing, unhook that ankle, hug in that knee, left knee. And then carefully and gracefully let it come back down, shake it out, do a couple little high school dance moves. Yeah. All right, my friends, we are almost at good old floor time. Let's make this the best chaturanga that we've got. Come to the top of our mat, bend your knees, reach those arms up. This time, open your arms wide like a swan as you send your heart down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands, hop or step the feet back. Inhale to shift your heart a little forward. Exhale, slow, 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 chaturanga. Untuck those toes, press up. Glorious, like you are glorious. Just be exultant, just whatever, just be it, be in the sun. Then exhale, pressing back into a tabletop, hips back. Just a little brief child's pose. Beautiful work. And we're gonna, as we did a little earlier, cross those ankles behind us, send those hips back. Or in any way you'd like, come to sitting. And here, we're gonna just take a little bit of boat. So you're gonna sit up nice and tall. You might want to move some flesh away, so you really feel those, like, the sits bones reaching towards the floor. You're going to lift one foot flexed. It's like a little tabletop of its own. Maybe the other one. Boat is tough because it's a balance as well as core work. Maybe you want to release one hand and then the other. If you want to be ambitious, straighten those legs. Otherwise, keep them in. You're still getting the great boat. Try to keep that heart up. Hold it for a couple more seconds. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave you here too long. And then exhale, we're going to lean back, heels stretch out, but don't touch the floor. Inhale up, boat. Two more. Exhale to lower a little further to the ground, knees straighten, don't touch the floor. Inhale up, last one. Inhale up, and then lower the feet to the ground. Just give yourself a seated windshield wiper. Good work. Excellent. Here, just arms. You're just going to round through the spine, roll to the floor. You're going to bring those knees close to your heart, your chest. Open those knees, let the toes touch or almost touch. And you are going to take your arms, give the outsides of your knees a little hug, kind of like a happy baby. And you're just going to try to send those hips towards your armpit. So you are in control. It's just the strength of your arms pulling those knees towards your armpit, giving yourself a gentler hip opener. So instead of being in child's pose on the floor, we're kind of doing one in the air, a little more gentle than the earth. Excellent. And then bring those knees together. We're going to do a couple rock and rolls. So tuck in as much as you can, Gonna rock up and down. And at the top, you're gonna see if you can balance on your toes. You'll get more than one chance. So when you feel ready, maybe you can balance. And try again. Let's play for a little bit. So you rock, rock, rock. Send the energy forward and up at the top. Balance on the balls of your feet. Those beautifully warmed up feet. Try one more. Believe it or not, this is core work, so hopefully it's fun. Hey. And then we're gonna just carefully plant our hands down. Just do one more good hip opener. Here we're gonna stack our legs on top of each other. So right leg on top, right ankle to left knee to left ankle. You're gonna inhale tall, you might already feel it. And then exhale to bring small circles from your hip. Maybe they get a little bit bigger. Flexing your toes. And then reversing the circle. Not staying in any one position too long, just gliding right past. Excellent. One more, finish up the one you're on, and come meet in center. Just gonna carefully remove those legs, give them a little shake, and then stack the other one on top. Flexing through those feet, inhale, tall spine, keeping that integrity of the spine as you bring some circles into your body. Here, it might also help if you want to remove some of the flesh from your sits bones, just to feel a little more stable on the earth. And begin to reverse the circles. Flexing through those feet. I say more to myself than to you. Oh. Keep going. All right, we'll finish up that one you're on. And come on back to center. Carefully release your legs and shake them out. And come back to the mat, just as we did before, rolling down the spine. You're gonna lift your legs up into happy baby. So here you're gonna reach the outside edges of your legs and just let your feet be wide. You can rock side to side. Good, in this kind of fun hip opener, but also kind of just kind of comforting position once you kind of get used to feeling that draft. This is a very nice soothing position for many people. Excellent, and then just bringing the soles of the feet together. Let those feet come to the ground. Knees, you can put blocks under each knee for some support. Just gonna be in this bound ankle, reclined bound ankle pose. One hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Eyes can come to close. Excellent, and then you can just begin to extend and expand into your final rest. Let your arms be open, palms up or palms down. Let those feet just flop out to the sides. you have a ponytail, feel free to take it out so that your head can rest fully. And in fact, let's everybody, just for a moment, clasp your hands behind your neck and almost feel like you're gently guiding your head out of your spine, like you're pulling it very tenderly and with love towards the back wall, and then let it settle down to the ground. So maybe the back of your neck has a little more length now. Take a deep, grounding breath. Feel yourself arrive here. Release. Your eyes can come to close. And find yourself right here, exactly as you're supposed to be. Take a deep breath together. Release. And feel it filling the whole body. Deep breath in. And release it out the sides and the front of your body. Bring those legs together. Arms up overhead. Just stretch it out. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. When you're ready, press yourself over onto one side, using your arm as a pillow, eyes still closed, knees tucked in, a comfortable position. And then, with love, press your body upright to a seated position of your choice. Eyes again are closed. Let's bring our hands to prayer in front of our heart. Deep breath in. Slow exhale. Deep breath in, breathe in. Sense of community. Sense of being together. Sense of gratitude for yourself and for each other. And let it go. Inhale, palms come to forehead, spine tall. And then exhale into a small bow forward, eyes can come open. Here I offer you namaste. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate having this class with all of you. I wish you well for the weekend. I wish you clarity in your decision making. And I wish you lots of good things. Just maybe like the cool air on the Northeast is starting to make people feel and breathe a little easier and better. Wish you appreciation for the small things. So with that, I bid you good day and take care, everyone.